Deadpool and Wolverine. Yes, you've come to this video for a spoiler review. Let's fucking go. First of all, this film is everything I thought it would be and more. I was really happy with it. I was really excited by it. And if you haven't seen it, please do turn this video off and come back in the future and watch it. And let me know what you think in the comments down below. We're going to start off with the story. Deadpool and Wolverine, the story within it. I really liked it. I actually had a conversation with my brother-in-law and my sister who said they thought it was a little bit here and there. It wasn't as strong as maybe the previous Deadpool films, for example. But I really thought it worked. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, Deadpool has been taken from his universe to the TVA because his universe is dying, because the anchor being Logan previously died in 2017. So the universe is slowly shriveling away, and the TVA noticed that Deadpool is a useful tool maybe for the sacred timeline, so they want to take him, and they want to take him there. And when he hears that his universe is dying and therefore his friends and family will die as well, he weren't having it. And that's why he goes down this massive rabbit hole of trying to find himself his own Wolverine, his own Logan, to be the new anchor being. I thought all of those things really worked out well. And then on top of that, the Logan he gets is dead and buried. Not literally, that was Logan, and that was crazy that we saw that as well, but that's so good. I'll get into that in a second. But this Wolverine that we see is on the bottom floor, like he's down and out, and that's when the TVA, I forgot his name, but the TVA person says this won't be your anchor being. He ain't no real Wolverine. He's the worst of the lot. And that's the story. That's the story. We build up these characters from this moment. Deadpool's trying to save his friends and family. Wolverine's trying to find himself again after he's been down and out for so long. I just loved it. I really thought it was a good story. And then obviously you go to the void, and we're in this area, this world, so to speak, with, you know, pruned characters from the past, and then you go into the idea that it's the Fox characters. Obviously that universe is no more. Disney have bought Fox, and it's basically, as Silver Fox, if you're watching this, my top moderator in my Discord and my Twitch streams, said it was a love letter to the Fox Marvel films. And that's so true, as you see, spoiler alert, of course, the characters of Elektra, Blade, Gambit all come through, and of course X-23, they all enter the scene because those films have been forgotten, and they actually basically say that we want to be remembered as the heroes that we've been forgotten about, probably from our own universes. And yeah, the story there, he saves his family. Like, I thought it was good. I thought it was very good, the story. Shoot me. Am I wrong? Do you agree? Let me know in the comments down below about the story. As I mentioned there, I mentioned a bunch of characters, and I think that's what I want to get into. This is what I really loved about the film, because it felt like the arc and the development of Deadpool, and more specifically probably Wolverine in this film. And we're seeing his character, and he hates himself if more than anything. And then at the end of the film, you can see his great sacrifice, and he's now suddenly the hero that he never thought he was. Really, he wore the suit, but he never really believed it, and then he did it at the end. And I just thought that arc of him was really good. And more specifically, just going into the fun characters for a second, because the cameo of Chris Evans as Johnny Storm was incredible. Because when he came in, first of all, you're just shocked. Just seeing him. How many years has it been since we've seen him in the Marvel universe? Since 2019, so 5 years. And you see him there, I'm like, what the hell? That's my first reaction. And then, you know, we are Deadpool in that scenario, saying he's gonna say it, you know, Avengers Assemble and things like that. But no, he says flame on. And I thought that, I just thought that was a fantastic addition. And as I said in the last part of the story, of course, it's a love letter to the Fox universe, and you know, Fantastic Four was a big part of that. That was a fantastic joke as well in the film. That's a fantastic joke when he gets obviously zapped and split open and dead, basically. Deadpool obviously goes on to say he was taking up all the budget in the film, which is just so funny. Of course, I've said many positive things about the characters there, but there was one character that I've seen a bit of discourse being a bit, you know, maybe they weren't as good as they could have been as a villain, and that's of course Cassandra Nova in the film, the twin of Charles Xavier. For me, I didn't think she was that bad. People haven't really been saying she's been bad. They thought the performance was really good, but the actual, like, motivation for the character's, you know, evilness didn't really make sense. And I think there was a little bit of the film that maybe didn't get answered, because obviously we saw the Fire X-Men character, I can't remember his name. He's in talks with the TVA person, and then Cassandra Nova, she was also like put there as like a deal with the TVA. We never really understood that. I don't think we never really looked into like that dodgy dealings, the phone calls and like the things like that. So we don't really know why Cassandra Nova was there, and maybe why her motivations were to, you know, come back and just say, I'm going to prune all the universes and just remove everything. Maybe it's because she just felt like she was done wrong, and she wanted to just you know, she's just mad and wanted to use her powers and say, well, if I'm going to be chucked in the TVA void forever, well, then no one can be happy. Maybe you could argue Cassandra Nova was just an evil person rather than having many motivations to do it. But yeah, I really liked her. And of course, the actual real villain, if you want to say that, was the TVA person, of course, trying to remove the universe of Deadpool and the Fox universe, which he didn't manage to do it, because Wolverine and Deadpool came through. I want to just quickly mention there, because in that moment you got the brilliant soundtrack of Like a Prayer, I believe. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I just want to talk about the soundtrack as a whole in this film. Let me know what was your favorite segment of the film music wise. I thought the music was so good, and I have to talk about the intro, the opening sequence. It has to be that. It has to be that sequence with the Backstreet Boys as well. It was incredible. And you would think in the past, Deadpool 1's intro couldn't be topped. It was, you know, very action packed and, you know, slow motion and very, you know, crazy scenes and good humor and things. This was even better. A lot better. The music, just the humor of it, but then also the action was incredible. Top it off with the fact he's using Logan's skeleton. Like that's just mental, absolutely mental. And I thought that was just such a really fun way of, you know, bringing us back into Deadpool. It's been so long since we've seen him, and just within the Disney MCU now as well, it was done so well. That intro, the music as a whole, fantastic. Again, I'm struggling to give any negative points. That's why at the end of the video you're going to see that I've ranked this film quite highly. Moving on to probably the last thing we're going to talk about, which is the best thing about this film: the humor. This film was hilarious. Like, I find most MCU films funny here and there. You know, there's never really a joke that doesn't land at all with me. I think there's some like average jokes and I would maybe just like exhale, but this was actual. I was actually laughing at this film. I've laughed at the previous Deadpool films, but it wasn't consistently as much as this film. I think they had a lot more to work with, if that makes sense, because of the now merger from Fox to Disney. You've got breaking the fourth wall, because it is so massively new. You know, it's such a big thing that's happened. You've got those jokes you can make breaking the fourth wall there. And I also liked, you know, the joke that was made near the back end of the film when all of the Deadpools are fighting each other. Obviously our Deadpool comes out and says, this is enough of the multiverse stuff. We know the audiences haven't liked it and things like that. When Blade says he's the one and only Blade, and then, you know, our Deadpool looks at the camera. I really like that sort of stuff. And then his celebration at the beginning, getting the role of like being the hero finally, I thought that was really good as well. But the number one joke for me, the joke that like killed me. So obviously you've got the sequence where he's getting into his suit within the TVA. He's you know, the tailor's there, suiting him up, giving him his weapons, making sure he's, you know, it's all tight in the right places and things like that. And then we leave, and obviously we've seen this in the trailer, and we just assume that's him slapping his ass and things like that. But no, it was the tailor. And then he says, "This suit's amazing. Plus point, your tailor's a predator." And I just thought that was like, what a like twist or funny thing. Let me know what was your favorite joke / segment of the film, humor wise, in this film. The back and forth of Deadpool and Gambit as well, saying who's your dialect coach. I thought that was, because I was actually listening to it for a few seconds being like, yeah, what did he just say there? And then I love the fact that they just fully, you know, just head on said, yeah, the audience have no idea what you're saying. This is such pivotal exposition. How are you messing this? Like, I just thought it was so good. Genuinely, I don't know what negatives I would have for this film. I'm really struggling. We move now on to the action. The action of the film, I can't give one negative. Wolverine was incredible, the action sequences, and then just that one-on-one fight between Deadpool and Wolverine in the car. It was just absolutely hectic. Of course they can go mental with it because they can just regenerate, so there's just so much to it. But the one that I was a little bit we could have had at least a 30-second scene was Hulk and Wolverine. We were that close to seeing something of substance there, and we just brushed past it. Speaking of that sequence, by the way, with all the different Wolverines, incredible again. That little montage, genuinely, I have no issues with this film. So as I said there, I'm really struggling to give a negative, a really bad point that I didn't like about this film. And the reason I'm saying that is because I gave the film a 9 out of 10. Now, some people might say, that's just because of the hype and because of the cameos maybe. First of all, I saw a tweet earlier. They aren't cameos. There's one cameo in this film. It's Chris Evans, probably. The other characters have worth in the plot. Like, they're very pivotal in the plot. Gambit, Blade, Elektra, X-23. They're very pivotal in the plot in, you know, helping Wolverine and Deadpool get back to the Fox universe and then, of course, save the day. They are extremely important and integral within the plot. And I love the fact that they just weren't there for being their sake. They were there because it was like their last hurrah as these characters that have been forgotten, and I thought that was so good. And also you could argue, oh, because of these old characters coming back, is your bias. I never really engaged with the Fox Universe Marvel stuff back in the day. I was obviously probably too young to really get into it. Of course, Wolverine has, well, Hugh Jackman's been playing the character for 24 years. I am 24. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't watching the old X-Men's when I was a kid when it first came out. I did watch them retrospectively, but I've never seen Blade, I've never seen Elektra, so I had none of this affiliation with these characters. But seeing them come through, I still felt something, because it was like, I know the significance of them being there in that moment. And as I said, it was a big Fox hurrah. In the credit sequence, I thought that was really cool, just to see like the behind the scenes stuff of the Fox universe, kind of just putting an absolute confirmation that this was the last hurrah for these Fox characters. So yeah, I don't think there was many negatives about this film. I really liked it. The humor hit every single time. The action was incredible. The music was great. The characters in the film were great. They had good development and arcs within the film. I can't give any negatives to that either. And then of course at the end of it all, the story as a whole was fantastic. I am going to be doing a massive MCU film tier list very soon, where we're going to see, where do I rank this 9 out of 10 Deadpool and Wolverine film? Is it number 1? It can't be, can it? I don't know, but it's fantastic, and it's definitely one of the best films we've seen for a long while in the MCU. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do next. Thank you so much for going through to another Floppyleggs YouTube video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe right now, and I'll see you when I see you.